This study focuses on the analysis of the phenomenon of immigration and the process of learning the language of the host country by the adult and child foreigners, as well as the importance of multilingualism, the protection of the mother tongue, and the benefits that can be derived from the latter. The thesis, moreover, will be enriched with some analysis of the historical and geographical context of migration from the 70s to this day. What characterizes then the immigration of the human being? From an anthropological point of view, man makes the pilgrimage because it is part of the human condition. For the one who emigrates, places become a new opportunity for rebirth, both in the collective context and in the personal sphere, giving further meaning to the journey. Among the countries considered a popular destination, there's also Italy, which, due to the economic recovery had in the 70s, has always represented an important geographical goal to be achieved for new job opportunities. Fundamental for the analysis of all the aspects that make up the phenomenon of immigration, there is also the linguistic one that sometimes represents a limit, sometimes a possibility to be seized that helps to establish the relationship between the foreigner and the host for the construction of a communicative relationship. Obviously, a great influence on the capacity of learning other languages also lies in the migrant's life project, the culture to which he belongs, and the education he has received. In Africa, those who speak a variety of a language can understand the variety spoken in the area immediately close to where they live, but encounter difficulties in understanding the spoken varieties that lie at the opposite end of the dialect continuum. Technically, this process is known as a language chain. Therefore, the possession of a bi-multilingual competence is considered the norm, and it often happens that the mother tongue is accompanied by at least one vehicular language and one official language. Next to the official languages are the national languages. A language is defined as national if it can express values and traditions common to the entire population and does not always correspond to the official language. The most prestigious language is English, which has brought forth variants as a result of contamination with local languages. An example of this is West African Pidgin English, a variety spoken by Nigerians that is not linguistically correct. West African Pidgin English is part of those variants commonly called, precisely, Pidgin, which are simplified varieties of a language. Let us now turn our attention to Nigeria. There are many reasons that push Nigerians to leave their country. Among the historical events that led to the inevitable increase of the emigration of Nigerians was the civil war in the period between 1967 and 1970. Between 1970 and 1980, there was a peak of emigration of brain drain. Many decided to leave to obtain further degrees even though they were already graduates and well educated. This model of immigration, which has the motivation of study as the main reason, simplifies the integration of the foreigner, allowing him to find a job immediately. Between the 80s and the 90s, the second generations begin. The first children of immigrants are born in Italy. Pupils of African origin that come from the central regions of the continent, with their geographical and cultural background, have in common a particularity compared to those of other nationalities. For all of them, the languages among which they have grown are not only two, but three. Next to the second language and the mother tongue, in the case of Nigeria, English, we find other minor languages spoken by parents. If they are smaller and are attending nursery, the linguistic destiny will orient itself towards the following possibilities: simultaneous bilingualism, where the child acquires both the mother tongue and the second language at the same time; coordinated or additional bilingualism, where the child learns the family language and then adds the second language, without, however, losing proficiency in the mother tongue; subtractive bilingualism, where the child learns the familiar language and then subsequently finds himself immersed in the second language. As the acquisition of the second language develops, the one of the origin is forgotten. The child tends to use it less and less. At first, understands and speaks it, then understands it and tends to respond in the new language. There are also cases of simultaneous trilingualism. For example, in my family, growing up, 3 languages were spoken at home, which were Italian, English, and Igbo. My mother always spoke to us in English and in Igbo, making sure we never lost that which was our culture and native language. This commitment on her part has helped me a lot in my life, and in particular in my work. The multilingualism I inherited allowed me to pursue a career in the world of interpreting well before I obtained the degree. I started working as an interpreter 6 years ago. At first in territorial commissions for political asylum seekers, then with courts, hospitals, reception centers, human rights societies, and finally with the police. I owe all this to the right importance that was given to the protection of the mother tongue in my family sphere. And today, knowing its importance, I try to pass this same ideology and these same teachings on to my daughter as well. This study focuses on the analysis of the phenomenon of immigration and the process of learning the language of the host country by the adult and child.